Seeing as we were just a month and a half away from actually starting, it meant a lot of the prep work for the expedition itself was already done, and we wouldn't have to get back to that until we actually had a launch date. That meant I could use the time to work on a lot of my own personal projects and get around to some of the things that have been on my to-do list for quite a long time. The biggest being launching my own expedition company, and I now run adventure tours in different parts of the world. Kilimanjaro trek with safari in Tanzania, kayaking around erupting volcanoes in Sicily, and then most recently I scouted out a brand new trip in Baja, sea kayaking, camping, sun, sea, sand, wildlife. Then when winter came around, I got back out to Canada, which was awesome, back on the snow. That also meant I could take a lot of the gear from the UK back over to Canada, and it was a little bit closer to where we needed to be. Then when travel opened up, it meant I could do a few trips around my expeditions. Most recently I've come down to Mexico and Guatemala, which is where I am right now, and that explains the straw hut that I'm in.
So what have I been up to in the past 2 years? So since we postponed the trip, basically moved from Vancouver Island to Ontario, from Ontario to Montreal, from Montreal to Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories. Between those places, had a child with my partner Andrea, and basically bought a house in Yellowknife, started a new career there. Was able to take advantage of a few outings, went kayaking, explored the NWT. So those 2 years or 3, it's hard to say. It's all kind of a blur. Feels like it was 1,000 years. But was able to do a bit of expedition prep when we knew that we had a date in mind to leave. And now, we're just on the verge of leaving for 2 months, 2 months and a half kayak expedition to Alaska. So people wonder what we eat on expeditions. Well, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to try to dehydrate quite a bit of things so that we have some food during our expedition. It won't cost us a fortune. Let's start with eggs and dehydrating eggs. Something I've never done before, but we'll see. First thing to consider, a few eggs. I got 36 eggs. Let's see what that comes down to. So there you go. Egg. Oh yeah. Egg. The idea by cooking it first is to try to evaporate as much water as possible prior to dehydrating it, so that it takes a little less time to do. More egg. Generally, you want your scrambled egg a little wet, but not for expedition cooking. So at this point, it's fairly simple. You want to just grab some eggs, and you want to kind of flatten it out as much as possible. And try to give it a push. This is a first for me, so this might look different than what I expected initially. I guess if I had just put the eggs directly, it would have been more crystallized, but I think this way it'll break down, but you just have to really flatten it out as much as possible. And you just do layers of this, and should be good. So it's been 12 hours almost. Let's Check this out. Ooh, interesting. Nice brittle egg. Like a chip. Doesn't taste that great. It'll do.
Now, a huge task when it comes to preparing for the trip is the logistics of how to move all the equipment from where it is and where we are to where we need it to be. Now, this is made even harder with the fact that neither Nuka or I live anywhere near our start point. To begin with, I was based in Whistler, which is close to Lund, where we wanted to be, so we started stockpiling gear in Whistler. Then with COVID, I had to move back to the UK, so I took all that stuff with me, and we continued to get stuff shipped out there. As we began to share our story through photos, videos, and telling all our friends and family, this helped our audience grow. And as that grew, we could then contact sponsors and try and get some of the equipment provided, which would therefore bring our costs massively down. Gear continued to get sent to me in the UK until I got a job back in Canada in Silverstar. So I went back over there, but I couldn't take everything with me, so I left a box in the UK which got shipped out to me a little bit later on. Whilst that's happening, Nuka's up in the Northwest Territories. He's been dehydrating food for months. He's getting meals ready, and he's going to ship them to ourselves along various resupply points along the Inside Passage. So at the end of the winter season, I then drive the gear from Silverstar to Whistler, where my friend Paul is. Now, Paul owns the property in Lund that we're going to start from, and he was able to move the stuff from there all the way around to Lund to our start point. The next problem is how to get our boats. They're in Victoria on the south end of Vancouver Island. Fortunately, Nuka's friend Greg very kindly offered to drive down and collect the boats for us from Victoria, drive them up and across on the ferry to Lund, where we'll be able to get them before we start. This means that Nuka and I can fly in from our different locations to Comox, meet each other there. We've not seen each other for years. We can then take the ferry across from Comox to Lund. Hopefully all of our gear plus boats are there, and we can start our trip from Lund and go on our way. Right now I'm in Guatemala City. It's 5 in the morning and it's time to start heading to Canada. I'm gonna skip you guys ahead, save you a little bit of time. We are now in Canada. Traveling in COVID is quite a strange experience. I had a layover in the States, and in the States you need a COVID test but no mask, and in Canada you need a mask but no COVID test. So we've been through it all. Immigration on the US side, they don't really like me too much. That took a long time to get through. I think they particularly didn't like that I didn't know how long I was going to be in Canada, because, you know, we're kayaking. Could take 3 weeks, could take a month. So yeah, they took me in for extra questioning, which took a little while, but I have a good feeling Canada should just let me straight in. Our queen is on their money, so generally that gives us a little bit of favor. So see how we get on, and then try and find Nuka. Not seen him for 3 years now, so hopefully I can remember what he looks like and he recognizes me behind this, because we've been planning this whole thing via Zoom. So, you know, you thought your Zoom meeting's bad. We've been planning a 2.5 month sea kayak trip on the internet. So here we go. Oh shit, that's him. I can see him. Nuka! Fuck, that's him right there. I need him to look up. This glass is too thick. Let me phone him. Oh, this is so funny. Here he is.
Hey, what's up?
Turn around and look up. Look at the bridge.
Oh, that's awesome. I was like, he's gonna show up somewhere here.
And you did.
That's so funny. I knew I'd find you. And there you are, right there.
This is like beautiful yet sad at the same time. Still separated from something.
You're so far away.
I'm like all ready to have my camera.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry.
Too late.
It's alright.
Oh my god.
You'll get me. You get me.
He's right there. He's right there.
That's so
Oh
funny.
my god.
Alright, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go that way. And then I'll find you at the bar.
Yeah, Monk's Grill.
Alright, see you in a bit.
Fucking crazy. I can't believe it.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. You have something witty that you want to say?
No.
Cheers.
We've made it. Powell River. We got all the bags. It took 24 hours for all the Nukas to arrive. Every bag came on a different flight. A different flight to Nuka as well, so 4 flights total. We got all the bags, got all the stuff. Now we need to take the ferry to Powell River and then figure out how to go from Powell River to Lund. We're going to try and hitchhike to begin with, see how we get on, and then hopefully make it there tonight.
Quantity of trucks.
One of these lucky people
One of you guys.
will be giving us a ride. Look at them all lining up to get here first. Who's it going to be? Hopefully that guy on the end.
Yeah,
nice truck.
pizza. Nice. It worked.
It's the kind of place you can it's the kind of place you can afford if you hitchhike everywhere.
That's good. Holy fuck.
Take your shoes off.
I think the kayaks are this way.
So Greg has delivered the kayaks, hopefully. We've not actually seen them before.
There they are.
They do look like kayaks. Wow, look at that view. Woohoo!
Oh my god. Greg, you did it again.
Do you know whose is whose?
The blue one's yours.
The fast one?
The white one's mine. Mine is considered a high volume because I have more brain.
We are right here in Lund. This is our start point for the big trip. And tomorrow we plan to head out and start making our way north, all the way through Desolation Sound, up this way on Lewis Channel. Lewis Channel runs alongside Cortez, and we're gonna keep going until we get to the Rendezvous Islands over here. It's a place that Nuka and I both know. We've stayed there before. We used to work in this area, so we know we've got some good campsites. But a big reason we want to stay there is we have two kind of sketchy places coming up. One of them is called Hole in the Wall up here. This is a place where if you time it wrong, the water can go very, very fast. You get whirlpools, you get rapids. You don't want to be stuck there at the wrong time. Then we've got another one down here called Surge Narrows, which again, there's standing waves, there's rapid light conditions if you time it wrong. Slack water is sometime in the early morning, so if we camp over here, we only have to go about an hour to get all the way through there, and we'll be on our way, smooth sailing into the Johnstone Strait. That's the plan.